And it's Thursday, it's time for Get Your Paint On. Everybody gather around 10 a.m. Get your paint on with Bloody Barnabas. Hi, everybody.
Isn't that Barnabas Lord of Blood
Lord
now?
of Blood.
Get the title right.
He's got 8 umlauts. Hi, everybody. I'm Dallas Kemp, studio manager at Privateer Press, and this is Get Your Paint On. And with us today is the master of disaster. Ain't nobody faster. Look at him cook like a natural disaster. John Swinkles.
Good morning. I don't know where we were going with that, but yeah, I'll run with it.
We're just going. We're just going. Take two. And then also with us today, behind the master control panel, the ultra elite spin doctor, master of ceremonial control elements, Tony Konachek.
It's like we opened up a dictionary and just put my name right after
He like
it.
This
like
is-
thesaurus.
Thesaurus.
Go.
Thesaurus.
Thesaurus man. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ed Burrell. Good morning, Jeff Olson. Good morning, Travis Marg.
Oh, there's like all sorts of people. Yeah.
Kern and Chris and
Good
Lizzie.
morning, guys.
Hi.
You know what? I was picking this color and I don't like it, so I'm picking a different color for
Switch that color.
my Lord of Blood, because he's got 8 umlauts.
So, you're painting Barnabas, Lord of Blood, Barnabas 2.
Lord of Blood.
Where'd you start painting him? Because he's obviously in progress.
Yeah, he's in progress. If you joined us 2 weeks ago, I painted him at PAX. At the PAX Unplugged over in Philly. Started working on him there, but I didn't quite get him finished because in the middle of PAX Unplugged, in the middle of painting him, we whipped out our special super secret sauce guest, Mr. Prospero, and I started
Model
painting
is so
him.
dope.
That model's super sweet. I love that model. And so now we're back to painting Barnabas, the Lord of Blood,
Blood.
because he's got 8 umlauts. All right, so I've mixed up some Exile Blue and some Battlefield Brown and a touch of Umber Lumber, and I'm going to start shading in his little leather bitties.
Sorry, hit me with those colors again, Dallas.
Exile Blue, Battlefield Brown, and by the way, those two colors mixed together is a really
So good.
great shade for different things. I mean, obviously, I'm going to use it as a shade here on the leathers, but that's also actually the shade for Signar Blue. When we paint Signar in the studio, we mix these two colors together and create a nice little pretty shade for the swans.
Brandon McGuire was asking, how was PAX? At least for me, it was cool because I got to see a bunch of people I don't normally get to see because it was on the other coast. What about you, Dallas?
PAX was super. I really enjoyed hanging out and like just meeting a bunch of people that normally don't make it to, say Gen Con or make it, to other conventions because of travel. So then being able to meet people from the East Coast that I haven't ever met before was really awesome. Everybody was super excited to hang out and paint. And
Philly was pretty good to me. Like, I wandered around the
Yeah.
city. I know, like you, me, and JR went a wandering in as well. And, like, yeah, they're a great city.
yeah, lots of good food. Oh my gosh, the food.
So much good food.
And I went to the Ronin Museum. and that
Rodin
was-
Museum, yeah.
Rodin.
It's all French.
It was all awesome sculptures and stuff like that. Super cool museum.
Danny went with us, too, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Danny Samuels.
Sammy Daniels. And then everybody was getting Company of Iron demos, and it was really awesome. Hungerford and Oz was doing those.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it was a really good show. Enjoyed it.
And Lizzie Stevens is asking, what was the initial wash on the skin?
You expect me to remember that? There has been 8 pounds of turkey and a pie between the last time I touched this guy and today.
There's been turkey coma in between.
Yeah, I would say watch the live stream for 2 weeks ago if you need an immediate
There's that.
response.
We don't delete those videos. They stay up forever.
Yeah, and actually, the ones from PAX were not uploaded to YouTube, so you can only see those on our Facebook page for now.
Correct. Yes.
Okay,
I
well, we
don't
can
have a
fix
way
that
to
though,
get
right?
the
Can we?
hard copies of those because they were on phone technically.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it makes it a little tricky. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I based him in Crick's Bane highlight, and then I used Crick's Bane base and maybe some iron hole as like a wash, and then I started highlighting in sickly skin mixed with like
That
I-
sickly skin, so good.
I just kind of made up the recipe on the fly at PAX, so I don't have it as a this is my recipe and it's in my head. It's more of a this is an experiment.
Well, because he's not the studio model. He's
No, this is
yours.
not. This is mine. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how I paint him, and if I ever need to be like, oh, I need to remember how I painted that, I'll just go back and I'll just watch the video myself, which is always weird. Watching myself. So I don't have it like solid in my head. But you know what? I'll go back and watch the video, and I will tell you what. I will, Lizzie. I will post that up in the Ask the Studio thread. How's
There you
that?
go.
Within give me a day or two. But I will do that. I can do that. That's something I'll do.
Giles, Jozu, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but he is lamenting that you should have done karaoke at with the ghost at Past Unplugged. Past Unplugged.
No. No. That was the most terrifying restaurant I've ever been in, and I'm not going back.
Even though it had karaoke?
That's not true.
There were lots of places that had karaoke.
Everywhere
Oh,
at
okay.
karaoke.
There's so
Plenty
many.
of options?
Yes, so
Okay.
many. It kind of made my heart happy.
And I say I'm not going to go back, but we totally went back after the ghost incident in Philly. Because they had mango sticky rice. I don't know if anybody's ever had mango sticky rice,
Yeah.
but
You
mango
guys wouldn't
sticky rice
shut
is
up about that stuff.
delicious. Oh my gosh, I love mango sticky rice. Tony, you looked at me like you've never heard of this.
Mango sticky rice?
Mangoes. Okay, so you get a big ball of super sticky rice, right? And then they take a sweetened coconut, like condensed milk, and they razzle that over the top, right? And then they lay some layers of mango, sliced mango over top of that, and then they sprinkle it with sesame seeds. Oh, golly. Dude, one of the best desserts ever in the world.
And then Alec is asking, any chance of expanding the current paint colors to include some of your blends, just so we can buy those instead of trying to do our own blends?
Man, that's a cool idea.
It is a pretty cool idea.
That's a pretty
I'm
cool idea.
kind of like, but like the blending of our paints is half the fun.
Well, I
For
mean,
me.
I don't think he's talking about the blending. I think he's meaning the mixing.
Yeah, I bet that's what he's talking about.
And yeah, that's a cool idea.
And then Tyler asks, how does this gator stack up against some of your other favorite sculpts?
Oh my gosh, how does Barnabas Lord of Blood stack up against my favorite sculpts? This is definitely probably
So good.
in one of my probably top. Oh man, do I want to go top 5 here?
I don't know. He's pretty dynamic. I think he's one of, well, at least out of like the recent batch, there's been a lot of really good sculpts. From everything from like the Risavos Defenders to this guy to Eminent Configurator Orion,
Ryan's pretty dope.
That's a mouthful.
Agrimony, Witch of the Dying Strands. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that's 12 factions and stuff that's coming out from the Northkin from last month,
just some
and
really
these
good
guys
sculpts.
from January are just awesome.
Man, I would almost go that this might be one of my top 5 favorite War Machine models. To be honest, like I just love him. He's just like over the top, and he's a crazy gator, and he's got his chest blown out, and he's like screaming at the gods, and he's here to just eat your soul, and I think that's just an awesome.
I want a van
model.
so I can have him painted on the side of it.
Oh yeah, this is an airbrush.
Because he looks metal as hell.
He's totally airbrushed on the side of some van already. Or the top of my Camaro. I don't have a Camaro. But if I did, he'd be airbrushed on top of it. Right up on the hood. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. That would be the most 80s thing I could do, I think.
And then Chris just asked a question that is basically the perfect lead-in to talk about two-brush blending briefly. He said, sort of a noob question here, but your second brush is dry, question mark? You're applying paint with the first brush and then blending with the second?
Yes. I'm blending with the second, but it is not dry.
Oh, he's got it in his mouth.
It was a little damp. And that's how you get those blends. Just soften those edges. P3 paint is designed with a secondary color, and by using that second brush and drawing the paint out, you unlock that secondary color, and that's how you get those cool dynamic color shifts that we have in the studio. And we actually have several videos, three videos covering the technique. So you should go check those out if you're interested.
YouTube.com/PrivateerPressPrime.
I will post the link into the chat momentarily.
Tony go.
Tony,
With
the
his
master of
power
the
computers and
little
keyboards.
control panel. He's like a super villain scientist with his control panel over there.
He's not mad. He's just a little angry.
Yes.
Other Chris Sawyers says, Dallas, do you ever use oil paints when you make washes?
Not for washes. I've done very little oil paint for miniatures. And I don't like the limitations. To be honest, I don't like the limitations. I think they have their use. They make great weathering, but I can do the same thing in less time with two brushing my P3 paints. The dry time is just a real bad hindrance for me. I don't like waiting.
And Alec just spoiled my conversion idea for Barnabas Lord of Blood. One hand microphone, other hand mic stand.
And his foot up on a
on the
sick
monitor.
stack.
Yep.
What song is he singing though? He's like,
Here I am.
feel my blood, the blood and souls run through my chest.
Yours is better.
Something like that. I don't know. I can't be inside this gator's head. That's not where you want to be. I know he's singing a song about gumbo. It was,
Could be.
gumbo. Gumbo. Cornbread and gumbo. Can there be a metal song about cornbread and gumbo?
There can be a metal song about anything.
Is there
You
gumbo
know better.
metal enough for metal songs? Seems
Well,
more
what,
like
what, what are the ingredients in a gumbo you would make?
sausage, some of that shrimpies,
Fried okra.
okra. Yeah.
So all you have to do is you have to drop into the metal voice, and you could literally just list the ingredients
Oh,
and the
sure.
steps, and you could just
Just sing the
that way.
steps.
yeah
This is
First you
how
take your sausage, then you brown it in a pan.
that kind of thing.
that works. I'm in.
And then you just have to put like a sick slow like riff behind it. Like something really
Some
crunchy, like,
sludge
Chunk,
metal.
chunk, chunk.
yeah.
Voodoo sausage, voodoo gumbo, gumbo sausage voodoo. Blurp, blurp, blurp. Look at that. I'm just going super fast. See it with the oil-based paints. I'd have to wait for it to dry.
Alec posits that he's singing "Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap."
It's very apropos.
Right. It's pretty good.
Oh, hi, Aggie. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for making me look boogie-eyed. She knows what I'm talking about.
And every time I get like the little notification that someone is sharing this video with their friends, it makes my heart so happy.
Your little
Thank
heart
you,
skip.
everybody.
Little heart skips. Not like Barnabas. He ain't got a heart. Oh, yeah, he does. It's pinned in there.
Ed Burrell says Guar should do an album of their favorite recipes, and we could just animate Barnabas singing them, and I think that's amazing.
I'm in.
It'd be amazing if they were all vegan recipes.
Oh,
Get out. Barnabas ain't vegan.
No, look at them teeth. Look
He
at the
got
teeth on them gators.
chompas. He's like, you can't make it and do it with no vegan recipe. Oh, son. That alligator gonna eat some mates.
He's gonna eat some signarans.
Signarin meats. Boiled swan. Just a little blendy blend. Go real quick.
So hold
Nick,
on,
my
sorry,
painting
I lost
goes
the
super fast.
comment. Juan Carlos is saying, I think he's replying about the two brush blending. He says we have a tutorial on wet blending on the channel.
We do have wet blending, yep.
Wet blending is different than
Different.
two brush blending. So do you
Yep.
want to cover what those differences are?
So, yep, hang on. Gotta think about where I'm putting that paint. So, two brush blending is you take a base coat and you draw the shadow out, stretching that paint thin, like it's just a thin, and it just changes the tone of the paint and gives you a nice transition. Wet blending is you take two paints together, so you put down a paint here and a paint here, and while they're still wet, you go blah, 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 and you mush them together, and they blend together.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
Basically, that's a very quick and dirty layman's.
Yeah, and as Juan Carlos was pointing out, there are tutorials for both on youtube.com/privateerpressprime.
Brendan did the wet blending technique on some polar bears.
Yeah, I'm posting that link right now.
Looks really good, Mr. Brendan and his super awesome painting skills. Knocking them right out the park.
Anthony Dallas has his model double-sided taped to a primer can lid. That primer can lid has some blue tack that is holding it onto a microphone stand. While Dallas normally uses the primer cap and double-sided tape to hold the model, he does not usually use the microphone stand. That is so the model stays in the picture.
Yeah, because I'll totally pull it right out of the camera frame, and Tony will yell at me
I yell constantly.
constantly. Well, you gotta deal with me.
Always verbally berating all of us. So
Well, and there's also the flurry of judgmental looks that you may
Yeah,
or may
don't-
not see.
Don't let those dulcet baritone tones fool you. He's a monster and needs to be stopped.
The taskmaster. Tony, one more time, check.
Ed can tell you, he barely escaped.
Little shadow right there. And then the other cool thing about two brush blending is, like, in the studio we try to get like nice smooth blends. This is my model, so I don't care about nice smooth blends. I can do whatever I want. I don't care how it looks. I just want it done. My favorite color is finished. And also what's kind of cool is by not doing perfect blends, I can actually use bad technique to get imperfect blends and make my coat, leather coat here on Mr. Barnabas and his
all
little leather
ragged.
straps. And it looks more worn and weathered and rough, you know, because, you know, he's not putting oil on this. You know, he's treating this in blood. Blood. So you can kind of play with the effect once you,
Yeah. Whenever he murders a whole bunch of people, he's got to just kind of drag the cloak through
yeah,
the
just
mess.
right through it.
You know, artistically, you know, like slap some entrails against certain parts of it to get just the right splatter effect.
Just the right look. So yeah, you can, once you learn the technique and you practice it, it comes very natural, and then you can start playing with the technique and using imperfection to create perfection. That was almost poetic.
Almost. I see what you were going for, though. And the
I
reality
was
is you have to turn the crazy meter and the carnage meter to 11 when you're trying to become a god.
Sure.
I mean, there's no rule book to consult for that, certainly.
No, but you have to turn it to 11. You, like, whatever you're doing, like if you're going to be the god of cheesy poofs, you've got to be consuming a lot of cheesy poofs.
Is there a lot of competition for God of Cheesy Poofs?
I have no idea.
Little blend
Everyone got very thoughtful looks on
yeah,
their
well, I was-
faces right there, like,
I was like thinking if the line would be longer
I was
for that
actually-
than others, or if it's just like
I was honestly
there's a
just
there's a
avoiding
space
that
for God. Just
conversation.
put me in the shortest line.
I just wanted nothing to do
Just
with
whatever
that
is-
conversation.
Whatever's
the
good,
quickest,
yeah.
right?
Whatever's most available.
I don't know. That could go real bad. I'm not going to detail how, but that could go real bad.
So I need to sign up for I need to turn in my God application. What positions do you have available? Oh, you don't want that list. I kind of want to be the deity. No, you don't.
That one looks pretty good. It's not what you
It's
think
not
it
what
is.
you think it is. You better Google that.
Safe search. Off.
Nope.
Oh dear God. Oh, you said it. You're stuck now.
All right, a little blend, little quick blend. Don't care what it looks like. Just want to make it done so I can put it on the table and have some fun. I need to work on my Dracodile too, to go with him.
One of the things that made me think, because Anthony was asking about the mic stand thing and all that stuff, saying that it looks comfortable. I know on various instances of get your paint on, we've talked about the ergonomics of painting.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable.
No, and I can see that, but they can't. We should totally do a P3 Presents on setting up your painting station for
Yeah.
being comfortable and taking care
That's
of
not a
yourself.
bad idea. I mean, we did talk about pretty in depth one day
Mm-hmm.
on here.
Yep.
I
I
did
remember.
like 20 minutes on it. But if people feel like that's something they would like to see in a different format,
Comment in the chat if you would like to see an
let us
ergonomics
know.
video
Do you want to see an ergonomic video? Do you want
for
to
painting,
see?
not like a random office.
Well, not yoga ergonomics or something like that. But like, if you would like to see some tips on how to paint more comfortably, let me know.
I'd actually ask this tip right now because at home I definitely hunch when I paint, which I know you've covered
Yeah,
before.
you don't want to do that.
What like
Standing desk.
what are like one or two quick things that people can do like right now just to
Belly up to that table, man. Like, bring your belly all the way to the table. Put your elbows down. Bring your arms together to make a little triangle. Lock your wrists together, like that. Put your pinkies together. Hold them in and paint. So like this.
lower your hands just a little bit? There you go.
And I don't remember. Barnabas 2, metal resin hybrid.
Yes.
All resin. Metal resin hybrid. 'Cause,
Metal resin.
Getting some of them details requires that metal.
Metal resin. Where did my Thamar black go? Oh, there it is, right out. So I'm going to take some Thamar black, add it to my shade color, darken it down, and do a really quick darker shade.
Travis Scott was asking if we ever give away any of the models that we paint, and so far, just the once.
We did it
A month or
once.
so ago back, Dallas Speed painted a Borka bust, and it was awesome. And we did give it away to one of the viewers in the chat.
We did. Tell me in the comments if you want more of that. I know the answer to that.
Yeah, that's such an easy guess. that's just fishing for yeses. Don't feed into that. But do
Fishing
totally
for
share this
yeses.
video if you want Dallas to give away more models.
There you go. Yeah.
The more you share, the more likely we are to
Yeah,
do it.
The more shares this video gets, the more likely we'll give away a video. Give away a
We
model
give
in the
away
future.
video all the time.
We give away video just nonstop.
Can't keep Dallas off camera.
Yep, I'm always just pushing him away
We
to the
say
front of
no,
the
he
line.
goes gorilla.
Yep. I do what I want. The people got to know. I'm here for the people.
Dallas is for Alada.
All right, that's nice and dark. I know there's no palette cam. We had some technical difficulties earlier, That's why we were a little late starting today. And so there's no palette cam. I'm going to blame traveling. I don't know. I was just making that up.
I'm just gonna blame entropy.
Yeah.
Entropy. It's
Just
I
the
mean,
natural chaotic forces of the
But
universe.
but actually, I kind of want to hear from the chat because we did this. Well, we took the palette cam away off the screen, and now I actually like the wider view of the miniature without the palette. So I'm kind of leaning towards wanting to do it this way. If any of you love the palette cam and want it back, let me know. But certainly I just think this is a little better format for focusing on the miniature.
I think
Feels a little less crowded.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I mean, we got two formats. We got Get Your Paint On, we got P3 Presents. I think for this format, the more casual, like, here's my guy, hello, everybody, might be a little better, but we'll let the people vote. I'm all about letting the people vote. Tony, quit trying to block the votes.
Alex says blame an intern. We don't actually have any of those. I think the closest person to
Is
an
me.
intern is no, I don't know if it's you.
I don't know.
I don't think. Yeah, we don't.
We have office gremlins.
We do have office
There is
gremlins,
office
but they don't
gremlins,
have
that's
names
what-
because as soon as you give them names, they have power.
That's 100% accurate.
I made the mistake of naming one of them, and well, he's
And
head of HR
lo
now.
behold, office gremlins are the worst. Man, you don't want to know what they do with my French press when I'm gone.
I thought your coffee game just stepped up. That stuff's been delicious.
What are you using? What's your secret?
We're gonna do one good thing one time,
One time.
and
One
it's
time.
Dallas's
Well, 'cause
French press.
they keep hoping that'll give another one a name.
Get out of my
No, Alec, I
French
did not name
press.
it Tony.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum.
I can't say the name I gave it, otherwise it gains
That's
more
power. I feel like we're being tricked.
Jonathan is asking. He's disappointed that we don't have death metal playing in the background. Jonathan, I tell you what, you get us hooked up with a license for some awesome death metal, and we'll talk.
Yeah, there you go. Go out and contact Guar. Go make that happen.
Please do.
I believe in you, chat.
Please do. You know what? I'm going to contact War.
Related to painting or just for fun?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, related to painting is for fun. These are not mutually exclusive at all.
Little dark shadow in his armpit. That's how you make contrast.
What are you going to do for his gaping chest wound?
I'm stuck on that. I'm stuck on that. On one hand, I want to do like the gore and viscera.
And make
Right.
it like all pink and wet and gross.
Yeah, just like do some goopy blood strands between the bones and like dripping out and like just a massive mess, just gore. Ooh, it's lunchtime.
The other part of you wants it to be all desiccated husk.
The other part wants to do all glow. Like Brendan Payne, the studio version, he's got it all green glowy because
Yeah.
he's drawn in so many
Emanating
souls,
power.
and his chest exploded from all the souls, and like the green glow makes sense. So there's a part of me who wants to do glow, and then a part of me wants to do viscera. I'm kind of like, oh geez, hello there, everybody.
Gesturing wildly, smacking the camera.
kind of.
The camera is like right at Dallas's.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Tony
right
used to have two
there.
eyes.
It's right there. So there's part of me is just kind of leaving it to the end and kind of see where I'm at the end of the paint job, and then make a decision on how I'm going to paint the chest cavity.
So Jason Nichols says he's in a death / grind band. So
Word.
boom. And then Jonathan suggests you need some kind of sick, nasty energy coming out from behind the heart.
Yeah, okay. So do the heart bloody, but there's like a gross
Yeah.
green glow emanating from behind it. That works too.
Chris Sawyer says kind of the same thing. Do the gore and a glaze glow.
Glaze glow.
I don't know if glaze glow.
That'd be the name of the donut I invent. The glazed glow.
Carl says, I vote for purple glow, which obviously you have some experience with recently from all the Grimkin that you painted,
Carl sounds like a plant from JR.
right?
Carl
On to
sounds
you,
like it's
Carl.
just JR. I think that's just
See
JR.
what you're doing.
JR in disguise. Travis is asking if you have a favorite painting metal to listen to. I'm guessing he's wondering what your music playlist is when you're painting.
Am I actually allowed to like name bands? I don't know. Am I allowed to name bands?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
What do you? You're just saying what you like to listen to, dog.
Baroness,
Baroness,
Mastodon.
Mastodon is very high on my list. Red Fang,
Yeah.
Ghost.
Ghost.
Ghost
Yeah.
is so good.
That stuff. Maiden.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with Maiden, Judas Priest, any of that
If
stuff.
you're not upping the irons, you're not doing it right. All right. I'm
You
using,
pick the metal that you can imagine the model you're painting is painted on the side of the van of their tour van. That's how I pick.
legit.
So if it's Signar stuff, it's all like glam metal and stuff like that, right?
Glam metal.
But like the darkness, right?
Little bit of this, little black color everywhere. All right, I'm painting like the little beaks of these little crow skulls black.
Jason says Manowar. Yup.
Sure.
Chris says what? No Katy Perry.
Don't get me started. You have no idea what you're asking for, sir. You have no idea.
The Leo Moracoli.
You think you're being
cover
you,
of
you
one
see
of
the,
Katy
the
Perry's
you
songs,
think you're being funny.
right?
This is like, oh, what about Katy Perry? And I'm like, oh, pumpkin.
Don't get me started, dog.
Oh, pumpkin.
Because you're gonna hear him roar. Nailed it.
JR challenged me to do Katy
Snuck that one
Perry.
right in there.
did.
That was nice.
JR challenged me to do Katy Perry the next time we go karaoke. So it is on like Donkey Kong.
I'm gonna need a ticket to that show.
I've been practicing.
I know they don't have tickets at karaoke, but what I mean is an invite. I need to know. I need to be there, and I need to ride.
You'll feel it in your heart, and you will feel compelled to show up.
I need someone to pick me up, blasting
No,
Katy Perry
you'll-
on the
you will-
stereo
You'll be able to step
to
sideways
prep my
and you'll
mind for
be
it.
there
Yeah.
because it will be magical.
I'm just saying, my Britney is on point. That's all I'm going to say.
Word.
Doop, doop, doop. All right, so I'm using my shade for my dark shade for my letters to also kind of black in some other elements.
Is that the one with the exile blue and the brown?
XL blue, brown, umber lumber, battlefield brown, XL blue, umber lumber, and then I mixed in a bunch of Thamar black to darken it all down. So it's like it's a nice shade for my leather, but then it's also I'm blackening in a bunch of elements to create definition and to allow me to paint it a little bit, in a little bit, in a little bit.
It's funny because while speaking of PAX Unplugged, while I was there, someone was new to dealing with our paints and had asked like my opinion of like the 4 colors that like they needed to add to their paint collection like immediately. And my first response was, "I hate you," because that's so hard to answer. And then immediately went into the Umbral Umbers, Exile Blue, Coal Black, and Thamar Black.
Yeah, they're really good colors. I mean, yeah, I don't want to pick and choose. That's
Well, it's almost
fair.
impossible. So like I had to ask him, what is he painting? Like what is like what are his goals? What you know,
Yeah.
what part of the color spectrum was he missing or wanted to change? Because yeah, just picking 4, like might as well throw darts at the rack and go, those ones.
we can throw darts at the rack. That could be an interesting video. Ugh. Something on my brush. Looks like a hair. Grody. Hopefully it's mine.
You're the only one over there.
That's why I said hopefully. Brendan. He's been putting my brush in his beard again.
See, I'm surprised you ever found it.
I could just see him tapering the end of his beard and painting with it. I want that now. Someone go get Brandon. Because he's got that long, glorious metal beard that he keeps all like tied up.
Tied
and
up,
bound
yeah. He
Like,
keeps it under
having him,
control.
like having him like kind of like twist the end and turn that into a paintbrush and have to like do a beard painting.
I'm just
challenge
imagining like he travels
with JR and Matt Getz.
on his days off. He travels around and like does like arm wrestling competitions, but instead of turning his hat around backward, he undoes the beard.
Does the beard?
Dude,
when he has to like get in.
Iron painter. People have to paint with their beards.
That's what I was thinking.
We've
Yeah.
done that before.
Really?
Yeah,
How did I miss that?
that's been done.
It could be done again. That gimmick has legs, Dallas. Legs for days.
I'm pretty sure there's been painting with other people's hair done. That may not been a.
Train wreck? Nightmare? Horrible idea.
All the above. All right, what do we got here? Yep. So blackening those stones, because he's got some little jewelry bits. Blacken that stuff in so I can paint them. It helps like when you blacken that stuff in, it gives them a little definition. You can kind of see where the model's at instead of seeing the paint like bleeding over onto other elements.
Mm-hmm.
Separates it out for your eye to be visual and be like, oh, I did a good job on the leather. The leather's not actually messy. It's just I have paint on other elements. So sometimes blackening stuff in like will help you.
Define.
Yeah, it lets you see the roadmap of where you're heading a little better sometimes. And once again, shadows on my dark leathers here.
Well, it always surprises me how few areas are required to add a little bit of that to, and immediately makes everything around it pop.
Oh yeah.
Just because it delineates where those contrast points are.
Who was asking about two-brush blending earlier? I'm really bad at remembering.
I think one of the
let me find it.
Let me double check.
They could just say it was me, and I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, but we have this thing called scrolling.
Scroll.
It's not letting me scroll down that far.
I can.
Scroll. I want to address them personally.
Yes, it was Chris.
Chris. Okay, so Chris, if you're still there.
He is.
Another thing about two-brush blending is watch this. Look at that belly. That's a pretty good looking belly, right? Whoop. Whoop. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. Gone. Everybody needs an eraser in their pocket, and I have several. I have the scrubby brush. You have your second brush. Like painting miniatures is the fine art of correcting one's mistakes. So having a multitude of ways to fix your mistakes makes painting miniatures that much easier.
Patrick and Riley have joined us. Patrick says, "Sup, Dallas?"
Sup? What up, Riley? What up, Patrick? How's it going today? You got your paint on? You got your paint on. Get your paint on. With the paint on.
Speaking of get your paint on, who's painting right now?
What are you painting right now?
Who's working on their forging their company of iron list?
Oh my gosh, that's almost done.
It is coming up real quick. Friday is the last day. I'm probably going to extend submissions through the weekend, but shh, don't tell anybody.
Oh. I won't tell anybody that there is a possibility that submissions for my company of iron competition may be extended through the weekend.
Make sure to submit your posts on Facebook, Twitter, or anywhere else that you can post publicly so that we can actually find it and see it. And make sure to use hashtag #MyCOI.
Yeah, don't post on your blog. We'll never find it.
Yeah, it's got to be on Facebook or Twitter. You can use Instagram as well if you're just doing pictures. You don't have to write a little story or anything, but obviously that gets our panel of judges more interested just because they can connect with it better. And tell them what they win.
The top 3 people get a pin made in the emblem of their
Subfaction, their company.
their little company.
Mhm. So
Like
we're
your
gonna make
little
a-
company that you design is going to get their own little insignia.
Mhm.
and a little pin made for that. And then the winner,
Grand prize.
the grand prize winner, the winner who takes home all the cheesecake, will get
Their commander turned into an alternate sculpt
Yeah.
based on their army composition and background.
Yep. And that's going to be a full-fledged resculpt that will go into stores where your friends and family
That will
and loved
go
ones.
to War Machine Weekend 2018.
Your mom
the
is going to
plan.
want one of those.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
True story.
You're going to be like, Mom, I won this competition and I designed this guy and this company, Private Press, because they're really awesome folk. They made a version of it and it's official. And look at this little blister. And your mom's going to be like, oh, it's one of your little toy mins. And she's going to have a little blister War Machine because
And she's going to magnet it to the fridge.
she's going to magnet it to the fridge. And you're going to be
And
like,
your friends are gonna
Mom.
be and you're going to think it's cheesy and stuff, but your friends are all going to be super jealous.
No, you're
Their
going to
moms
secretly
love
love
the
it. That's
family
why
as
it's going to
much as
stay
they-
up there.
as she
You're never
loves
going to
you.
take it down.
Yep. Forever.
You're going to think about taking that and you're going to be like, wait, that's dope.
Patrick, Patrick was talking about winning pancakes, which gave me the idea that we should run a contest where Dallas shows up unannounced at 6 a.m. on a Saturday, pounds on the door, and just comes in with an armload, makes pancakes for whoever's in the house.
Right.
Just whoever's
One
in there.
person, an entire family, doesn't matter, serves the pancakes, and then leaves. He will not clean up after himself.
No.
Promise you that.
I'm not going to paint miniatures either.
But I think we can do this.
So that sounds cool. Brent.
Don't yell his name.
No, I am.
What did I tell you earlier about
I'm
the
invoking.
goblins?
I'm invoking Brent.
Brent is not one of the gremlins.
No.
Or is he?
Brent's going to tell me, you're not allowed to do that. And I'm going to be like, thank you. No, seriously, I would go to your house and cook pancakes. Whatever.
You wouldn't really be able to keep him out.
Oh no, Patrick. Dallas would be very respectful of your house.
Oh,
he
absolutely.
would just make a cooking mess and then leave.
Yeah, I
you
ain't
just,
doing
you would just have to
dishes.
clean. Yeah, you would just have to clean the kitchen and do the dishes. He's not going to get all Cat in the Hat on it.
No, that's not my style.
And they're going to be the best pancakes you've ever had.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. The other day. My gosh. It was, what day was that? Last Friday. Last Friday, I made pancakes, and they were buttermilk pancakes, and they were so thick and fluffy. And then the outside had just that little bit of crispness. And then for Zane, I always cook the pancakes with a little center that's just a little doughy, because that's the way he likes them. And they were like, oh,
I pulled the same thing off a
Perfect.
month or two back with just a little bit of cinnamon in the batter and a touch of natural vanilla extract. Yeah, they were so good.
I tried out doing some graham cakes for my kids, putting in ground up graham cracker into there, and it was a little lackluster. I gotta say. I know I should be talking about how delicious pancakes were, but a part of me while I was eating them just go, I should just made regular pancakes. This is not doing anything.
Yep.
well, that's what you get for trying new stuff.
There you go. Graham cakes, world. Thumbs down. Don't bother.
Wow.
Or prove me wrong and tell me about it, because I want to know how to make it better.
That is definitive. But luckily you turned it into a gauntlet throne.
I've definitely done, I've definitely put granola in the pancake mix, and that works real good.
So instead of hashtag do not do, hashtag do better.
Yes. Hashtag try harder. Hashtag learn from your mistakes.
Not me. I'm done. I'm out.
Oh, you're like, that's it?
One shot.
Tony,
It
one
just
shot
goes in
kind of
the-
check.
into the-
I
into
learned
the
from my
note
mistake the
column.
first time. I don't need to repeat it to reinforce it.
Wow. It's amazing. There's your lesson today, kids.
When you get knocked down, don't get back up. Just decide that the floor is comfy.
Yep. Tony, one and done kind of check. I was going to fly to the
Which is
sun.
funny because his tagline is "That was great. Let's do it again."
Oh, it's only one and done for him. Yeah,
It just doesn't apply to him.
it doesn't apply to anyone else at all.
Yes, Alec. Banana and chocolate chips. Yes.
Sure, that's all right. I prefer. My favorite is pumpkin. Like I just straight up take my.
Yeah, not pumpkin spice, just pumpkin.
Okay, yeah.
All right, you got to keep talking because I actually like I have the pumpkin guts that we got out of the pumpkin and food processed, still waiting to be used for something. And so before the pancakes. Go.
Okay, so what I do, all I do, it's pretty easy. Like because you can use the guts or the can, but you just make your pancake batter, right? You do your flour and your baking soda and your salt, or baking powder, salt, right? Then you put in your secret ingredient, which is, and then you put in your vanilla, right? You mix that all up. Well, yeah, you integrate that, and you add in your egg and your milk, and you just stick a whole can of pumpkin in there. Just a whole can of pumpkin.
Or a whole bunch of the guts.
Or a whole bunch of the guts, right? And then you do your cinnamon, your sugar, your nutmeg, your clove, right? You mix that all up.
Not
And
too
you just
much
make
clove.
pancakes, right? And you just makes these really awesome, little fat, fluffy, pumpkin flavored pancakes, right? You put butter and syrup on them just like normal. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
And when you pour the pancake, you have to like leave a little trail coming off that looks like the stem from
Little
the pumpkin.
stem, little pumpkin stem.
Your kids will dig it.
It's a nice little garnish,
Mm.
embellishment.
All right, so
Pumpkin.
still working on Barnabas
pancakes.
2, Barnabas Lord of Blood.
Blood.
Do we know what we're painting next week?
I mean, this guy's not going to be done, so we could go back to him if everybody wants to see more of Barnabas, or we could switch around. I got a couple of things on my plate that we could be painting. I don't know what we're going to do.
So we still have a little bit of time because we started a little late.
All right, I'm doing a
But
wash.
what I'm curious to hear from the viewers is more Barnabas next week, or something else.
Something else entirely on.
And
Get
Carl, I see your
thing
comment on painting a champion of the Order of the Wall. We actually already painted the Dragoon version, or the dismounted version.
Josh did.
Yeah,
on Josh did
I don't,
on
I don't know if I'll be
earlier
revisiting
episodes
that
of Get Your
anytime
Paint On.
soon.
That was about 5 weeks ago that he was working on it last.
Yeah.
I can find the link and I'll post it in.
Oh, look at you go with your technology.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be painting that anytime soon, just because that's still really close to
Mm-hmm.
when Josh did it. Sorry,
But that's fair.
but that's Josh did a really good job and showed off the model and painted his little company of art. Me and Josh need still. Okay, there's a conversation. Josh and I still have to throw down
Yep.
because
He was very busy working on no quarter prime related things when we
Yes.
were going to have you do it earlier this week.
yes, which is awesome because no quarter prime has been really great. But also, so last Tuesday I played against Hungerford.
Wait, stop talking. This is way more important. Chris Sawyer's best idea ever.
I don't know if it's way more important. What
Way
I
more
was saying.
important. Resculpt what Barnabas is holding so that he's holding and serving a hot plate of pancakes.
Sounds like a lot of work, Chris.
Sounds like a lot of work, but totally worth it.
Chris, I'm gonna love to see your version of that when you're done with it.
All right, Chris Sawyer's gauntlet thrown. Do it. Make it happen.
Rule number 1: never make somebody do something that you're not willing to do yourself.
Word.
Ooh, snap. Anyways, I played against Hungerford last Tuesday
Mhm.
in the
2 days ago.
2 days ago in the
Weekly Rumble.
weekly rumble. Sorry, my brain I was looking at my miniature and I kind of just locked up for a second. And we played the Under Siege scenario.
Number 6 in your rule books.
And it's a really fun scenario. But I would like to challenge Hungerford to a rematch
Ooh, where you're the defender.
where I'm the defender
Mhm.
and I bring my special terrain I made for Company of Iron for the Filthy Five and fight against him again as the defender.
So, in someone who won't be named's office is one of the new Warsenal rail tower terrain pieces that needs to be painted.
Sure.
I think that thing would be dope on a company of iron table.
Sure. There's a couple of those floating around that need to be painted. But I got a piece of train that I built just for a company of iron.
James
Just
says,
for my Filthy Five. And I challenge Hungerford to a rematch.
and James Vernon says, I would purchase a hardcover book of the studio recipes for all the armies and other hobby tips, i.e. basing. Would you guys consider releasing one?
It's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Maybe. It's. I think something like that has been discussed before. It just comes down to demand and costing, really. Like, if a bunch of people are clamoring for it, we'll make a thing. A bunch of people definitely want to see you keep going on Barnabas. A couple people threw out Scar 3, but I don't think she's ready yet. I'm not sure. You'd probably have to do it in pieces too.
Well, that's the thing. We haven't done a colossal on Get Your Paint On yet.
Well, yeah, because they're huge.
So we might need to we need to look at that, Tony, on how to cover a colossal on this.
And a couple of people have thrown out the Dracodile, obviously, which, if you haven't already, pre-order window for that closes tomorrow.
That
Less than
model is
48 hours
sick.
left. Go to store.privateerpress.com, pre-order your Dracodile, get your free exclusive Black Anchor Heavy Industries t-shirt. Do it now.
That model's so dope. Not so dope. There's some really good stuff coming that we can definitely. We'll definitely have something really awesome.
Yeah.
Like let me know what you think. Let me know what you like to see. But we'll definitely have something really awesome to show.
I see Tony playing with the keyboard. He might be getting ready for another link drop.
Dropping that.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. Dropping that link. What? Tony,
Store.privateerpress.com. Click now to find all of your Privateer Press needs.
Weird thing is, there's about a 10-second lag between what we're doing and going on Facebook. So, by the way, if you didn't know, you are living in the future for us right now. So the link actually came out before they knew it was coming.
When? When did that happen?
Just now.
When?
Now. Not then.
Richard, the best answer I can give on when the Dracodile ships is pretty soon, I believe.
Year.
I don't have the exact date, but rather soon.
Sooner, not later. I'm also dope.
I can't guarantee that people will get theirs before Christmas because shipping turns into a nightmare around this time of year.
We ain't the post office.
Yeah, and even the post office ain't the post office this time of year. They're kind of the it'll get there when it gets there kind of office. So just because it might start shipping very soon, it doesn't mean it can't get delayed a little bit. He's a big dude, and I don't want to make any promises.
We ain't the post office.
Because that would be mean of me.
All right, that's starting to piece together. I got the
It
little.
started looking like a ascending semi demigod of carnage.
Ascendi God. Yeah, I'm just really controlling it. Basically, what I'm doing here is like, this is a fun technique. Is like I'm doing like basically a
Feathering.
very controlled wash. Like it's a very thin paint. It's my shadow color, and I'm very thinly painting it into the recesses, and then I'm just using that second brush to kind of like control the amount and where it goes. So it's a very controlled wash. It's once again, it's just once you start two brush blending, you start seeing how the paint reacts to different movements and different consistencies and different things. You can start playing with technique and you start getting different effects. There's all kinds of things that can happen with it. So it's a very versatile technique to have in your pocket. And when you couple that with the versatility of P3 paints, you just have your all-inclusive, all you need painting system. There's nothing like it in the world.
I have to thank the chat for not calling me out on being a band geek when I said semi demigod. because that is a riff on a hemi-demi semiquaver, which is a 64th note. Nerds!
We got about 5 minutes left in our hour because we had the technical difficulties in the beginning, so we got a little bit of a late start.
Mm-hmm.
So of course we can always
Keys.
run
Get those
however long we
questions in.
want, but yeah, we got about 5 minutes
Get the
left.
requests for what you want to see painted next, whether it be Barnabas or question mark. Make that chat fly. Tell us what you're painting, what you're going to paint next when you get home from work if you're at work, what you're painting at work, what you're painting for work.
Under your desk so your boss can't see.
No, show it off. Get him in.
Yeah, like
Get
have the
that boss
come
painting.
over. Yeah, give him a brush. Give her a brush. Give them all brushes.
Just have brushes and paints and extra models
ready
at
to
your
go.
desk.
Yeah.
Just teach your whole
So that way, if
office
someone
how to
comes
paint.
by and goes, "What are you doing? Quick! I need you to paint this blue." Like they can't argue. You say it with authority and with urgency, and they'll just sit down and get going.
Oh, it's gotta be blue.
It's very important.
Feel sneaky about it. Here, hold this.
Okay, now hold this.
Hold this.
Okay, now use this to put this on this. Haha! You're painting. Can't yell at me. You're doing it too.
All right.
Uh-oh, he's bellying up. He must have something he wants to get done.
I just want to get this on the back of his noggin. I still haven't touched the back.
Is that more of the shade color you're getting in there?
Yeah. I'm just really pumping that shade. Just really going to kick the contrast and make him dark. You know what? We can just go all out.
See, even Eli's saying that we've had a couple of mini painting days at their office. So yeah, everybody should be
It's
painting.
good. It's
all
actually
the
really
time.
good team building, and it's a really good family experience. I know I started painting with my kid a long time ago.
Billy can do all the metals. Timmy can do all the washes. Sarah can do all the lining and contrast pulling. And then mom and dad can work together on the basing. It's great. Yay, Dick James says that Company of Iron made him finish his first unit since coming back to Trolls.
Nice.
Old collection was stolen, which is a boo. So seeing a new set of painted boys gets him super excited.
That's a good way
Right
to
in
get
the heart
excited.
bits.
Is getting those. Once you get something painted, and you're just like, oh, that was easy. Then you get excited for the next thing. You just keep painting, and the next thing you know, you got a fully painted army.
Shazam.
And Company of Iron is like such a great way to
Oh, I love Company of Iron.
start an army or to fill out some of those units and to like just get going on. You can be like, I'm just gonna paint this, and you'd be like, okay, so that was fun, and I played it, and I had a fully painted little Company of Iron force, and then I'm like, okay, so now I'm gonna paint this unit and play with that in Company of Iron a little bit, and the next thing you know, you got like a big, War Machine force, and you're just like, that you're already playing War Machine, and you can integrate your painting technique or your painting time into building Company of Iron, and it just turns into War Machine.
Another more different Chris Boyer says that his wife and kids and himself paint together every once and again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Chris, I got my painting studio set up, my painting table, and my kids, every time I sit down at it, my kids always come over and sit down. And so I just have a little side box of mini bits and stuff for them to paint so they can sit down and do it with me. And it's a lot of fun.
And Devonian joined the chat and currently painting the North Ken Elder. Or currently cleaning it up.
Yeah, that North Ken stuff.
Oh, North Ken stuff is so good.
Super sexy, super good models.
Like, I don't have very much in the way of Troll Bloods, but I need Valka and I need Kolgrima real bad.
I keep forgetting to share my Steel Creel fully painted on the inner tubes. I need to do that. I keep forgetting. Just a little more wash on this guy's tail. See, now I just switched to wash. I was just like, I'm just gonna go all out in the wash. What the heck? Why not? I just want to darken it all up. Darken it all up. Make it look nice and muddy. Make it look nice and rough. A little more painterly. This isn't a studio model, so I can get a little painterly on it. And just have fun. And right now it's going to look muddy because it's a wash and a bunch of dark colors. But once I start putting highlights in, it's going to separate those elements out, make them look more unique and tighter. It doesn't have to be super good.
Yeah, those highlights always make a big difference.
Yeah, it's just that contrast, right? It's like I see a lot of people who start painting and then they're like, bring me their miniatures, or they share them online, and they're like, what should I do? And I'm like, a lot of times, the simple answer is just highlight it, right? It's just throw another quick highlight on there. Those very, very high highs, and you're going to get that contrast, and it's going to make it look more, just look better, right? So push your contrast. That's what I'm saying. Push the contrasts. Contrast, contrast, contrast. Faces and bases. These are old school terms that miniature painters have used for years and years and years and years. And they still apply, right? The techniques and the medium are still there. So faces and bases, contrast, contrast, contrast. And I'm kind of just having fun with this guy now. I'm just like, I kind of want to lean into that painterliness.
Well, you're painting up the pile of skulls, so clearly that's
It's just
one of the funnest parts of that model.
Oh yeah, it's just like, and he's surfing the bone wave. I'm in. Just kind of shove some dark tones on the other side, underside here with this wash. And this is the same color I've been using almost the whole time.
Yeah, like
Just changed where I'm putting it. Just kind of putting it here in these dark crevices of all these little bone daddies. Bone daddies. Bone daddies. Bone
All right,
daddies.
we're just about ready to wrap it up here. So if you
Tony's
have
making us leave,
any
guys.
last minute comments, questions?
make it happen.
Now's your chance.
And don't forget to hit like down at the bottom of the video there and share with your family and friends.
Mm-hmm. Like us and share us so that we come back every week.
I'm going to come back every week no matter what.
Yeah, pretty much. This just lets us justify it easier. Can't stop the signal.
I'll wash across that. Darken up these bones. Yeah. And once I put in those highlights, it's going to really come together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my vote is continuing with Barnabas 2 for next week because I want to see what it looks like with the highlights.
Sure.
But we'll have to go back through the comments and see what the popular choice was. So if you haven't stated what your opinion is as far as whether or not we continue with Barnabas 2 next week or move on to another figure, make sure to put it in the comments of
Let
the video
your voice be heard.
so that we can go check that out. Dallas, any parting thoughts as we head off to lunchtime?
It is lunchtime. That is for certain. And there's nowhere to get gumbo nearby.
Not anything good.
Parting thoughts. Keep on painting. Happy painting. Patience, practice, perseverance. And remember, there is always, if you have any questions between now and next Thursday, you can always find us at the Ask the Studio thread in the Protein Press forums.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask on Facebook on the War Machine Hordes painting group, which is a really fantastic group.
You
of
can
people.
also put comments on this video even after it's not live anymore.
That's
and
true,
I
too.
still go through them, and I know Dallas does as well.
Yep. So if you got any questions, just let us know. And until next time,
Get your paint on.
get your paint on.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.